My name is Valor, and I'm with Christian. Well, other than touring right now, the project that we've been focusing on is promoting our new album, The Root of All Evolution. But this business is part of my life since I was a kid, yeah. When I say kid, I mean 5 years old, small. You know, I've been traveling with my mother, who's a singer and a dancer. I was on the road at 5 years old. Well, my family, both my grandfathers are musicians. My grandfather was actually a classical composer and had some very successful compositions and orchestrations that they were popular in the Soviet Union, that were popular in Eastern Europe, all Eastern countries. And in fact, he was one of the first people to record classical music in a big way, multi-tracks. And so that helped me with my interest in recording too. My grandmother is an author and a poet as well. So yeah, it's a multi-family influence on me. It's definitely, my mentors are definitely family members. I did have a hard childhood, but it wasn't because of the music. It was just because of situations, life situations. You know, there were people and I guess in anybody's life that you may be better off without. You know, and they were not necessarily blood family members, just people that were involved in the family that have an impact on you negatively. I think that we are oppressed sexually, so people say that we're just sensationalizing sex, but and of course that's what the media does, but our expression is not about sensationalization of the word sex or of the act of sex. It's making it more aware that this is something that we shouldn't have inhibitions about. That we should be able to be ourselves. We should be able to treat sex just like animals. So in fact, when it comes to sex, I'm an animal. Little joke there. I have no animosity or hatred. And I would like to think that equally the same is with me and any of the members that we've ever had, that people just have to go their own way. People leave, they change their lives, you know, things happen. You know, any of the negative things that came up with this band were really because of the industry itself and the people who are trying to exploit us for what we've done, and one particular record company who I'd rather not give credit to. And they actually hired people to deliberately have a smear campaign against me to help promote their product, to help by degrading mine, and they started doing that at the advent of people becoming trolls. You know, they hired a bunch of trolls to be negative trolls. You know, and they put out a lot of false rumors, and I guess it was publicity in one way, but it was very hurtful in another way to me, because I like to make sure that everything that I say is bona fide, and I never say anything negative against anyone. And yet they pay people to go out there and publicly say things in the press. People with famous, you know, profiles around the world that have worked alongside this particular label, have actually, who never even met me, by the way, became part of this whole campaign to just like run me down, because, you know, when you've got a record company offering you money, well, make sure that when you go out and you promote what we're doing for you, that you say shit about that guy. They do. And it hurt my feelings a lot, because what happens is that people get caught up on it. The general public gets caught up in all the negativity, and some people thrive on negativity, and some people take it further than they really even thought about why they should. And that's what hurts, because they don't ever research it. They just take hearsay for granted and think that, you know, well, I just want to shit on that guy, you know. It's like, I don't know anything about the Kardashians, and I hear people saying this stuff and that stuff. I don't give a fuck what anybody says in the paper. I don't even know those people. And when people say that stuff, I can't listen to it. When people criticize anyone in a position, whether they're politicians or entertainers, you can't take any of that true. You take everything with a bit of salt. And in fact, when a politician says anything, you don't take any of that as true. I don't spend a lot of time on the internet, and it seems to me that I have to make sure that we've got an army of people to be on top of it to help get the word out, because it seems like, you know, the industry's changed. You know, before the record company would help promote what you were all about, and now it's up to you. And I don't have enough time in the day just to play my guitar, let alone to stay online, so I don't have a personal Facebook, sorry. We have Facebooks for the band, and we have Instagram and all of that stuff, but we don't really spend time on it. I don't sit on the phone all day. In fact, I don't even have a cell phone. The band right now, actually, the drummer's only been in it for 5 or 6 shows. And that's because our other drummer had a physical an ailment, an illness that he's got to deal with, and we had to get this guy at the last minute. And he's actually a drummer from the support band that played with us here in California last year. And he's from California, in fact. He's from Sacramento. And he flew over to Detroit for our first show, listening to the songs to learn them for the first show. And the last couple of nights has been pretty good, but we've still got a little bit of ways to go to make it so that it's right in the pocket, as they say. It compromises my performance because I'm thinking about playing a guitar, violin, or whatever, and singing at the same time, and I just want to be able to enjoy myself and really put that feeling out. And if there's little things going on, like the sound is a little bit down, or the lights, like the night I couldn't really see anything, I don't know why the lights are so dim, but things like that have a way of putting you off because you need to be in the element. It's almost like, I'll give you an analogy, you're making love to somebody, right, for the first time, and then your grandmother walks in and things aren't really the same anymore. There's so much I want to do with Christian Death that I don't seem to have the time to get to anything else. I mean, it takes up all of my day every day. Before this tour, I was planning, I was like making the videos and stuff for the backing, and then we're getting ready for the tour, and then we do the tour, and then we're going to be recording, and so it's really non-stop. I don't have holidays. I don't really go on. The only time I see the rest of the world is right now when I'm traveling and playing the tour. Otherwise, I'm locked up in my studio all the time. Well, firstly, the most important thing is to make people feel good. I enjoy making people happy. I enjoy, if you come to my house, I'll cook you a really nice meal, and if I make love to you, somebody, if I make love, I give more than I take, and the same with the music. I like to give more than I take. So that's really the big thing for me, is making people happy. But at the same time, my lyrics I consider fairly deep, and I like to make people think about what's actually happening in the world, to maybe open their minds to the fact that studying a little bit of history will go a long way to explaining how we got to where we are now. And I don't deny that some of the stuff I've done is maybe not everyone's cup of tea, and certainly some of it is not even my cup of tea anymore, like you say. But by and large, the satisfaction is not so much after the fact. It's at the moment when you're working on it. You get all emotional about it. You want to get that feeling or that image that you have out to people. Usually I write lyrics first, so I try to take the lyrics and think about how I can translate that emotion through the music. So that's where the music starts to grow, is from the feeling that I need to project. And so the musical vibrations and the frequencies that it shows are meant to, and I use a little bit of science in that because I understand frequencies like the Earth is 4 hertz, for example. Here's another thing that people aren't aware of, is that most musicians think that they tune their guitar when it's A, or their instrument, or the piano. They tune it to A440. Well, the BBC in the 1920s changed it from 423 to 440 on purpose. And so it's less harmonic than 423. And so we didn't do that tonight because we had some issues, but usually I like to tune everything, that's like a quarter of a semitone down. Not even, maybe just under a semitone, a quarter of a semitone, less than a quarter, down to lower than normal pitch. And the harmonic resonance that it creates is just fucking mind-blowing. Okay, so we're working on another new album, and we're also getting ready for a European tour, which is already well in advance of being booked. My name is Valor from Christian Death, and our new album is The Root of All Evolution. Check it out with a nice glass of wine, or beer, or a joint, or whatever it is that you need to relax and take it serious. And think that there's some philosophical content that maybe you'll gather something from. And if not that, at least the music should take you somewhere that maybe you've never been before.